Hi, welcome on my channel. Thank you for joining me. You're on Anna's arc today. It's the 13th of November, the Thursday. So, if you're new here, my channel is a lot about spirituality, things I'm interested in, things I studied about, and things I experienced. And today I want to do a talk on the current planetary energetics. I think I'm going to call it like that. For those that were already here or just coming in, but also watched my previous video in Building a Strong Foundation, part 1, that video got cut off. So I was talking in that video about how so whatever you want to call it, we all perform magic in life. We manifest things. If you look into some communities in the spiritual communities, it's all wishful thinking, magical thinking. In this video I explained a bit about my personal experience, how I really worked my ass off for some of these manifestations, but also see the divine blessings and guidance I had in that. I was thinking to do a part 2 because my battery died in that video. And it was really like a cliffhanger. So I'm not going to go into Building a Strong Foundation part 2 yet. And I think with what I'm going to talk about today, I can explain a bit of why I don't want to do that yet. This came later, okay? I was fully convinced that I'm gonna make a part 2 of this one. But current planetary energetics, and how that is, I'm going to speak mostly from my own experiences, but also learnings. But I hope it just interests you, and maybe you will see these energetics playing out in your own life, and maybe your curiosity will be sparked too, to look into your own divine blueprint, natal chart. Or maybe you don't, and maybe, I don't know, I'm going to go into that. I have my laptop here, how long I was feeling some things already and experiencing some things, so I'm going to deep dive in that in my personal chart today. I don't know how long these retrogrades we currently are in and other planetary energetics that are going on. Maybe you think like, what is this kind of woo-woo she's talking about, or whatever. I don't believe in that. It's going on, and you perform magic and manifest in your life, and people, places, things manifest in your life if you believe in it or not. So let me just see me as your online friends. Trying to help guide myself, and through that guide you too. If you don't believe me, maybe take a few months, see when these things ended, maybe then look into it or not, and then come back, and then your friend Anna can be like, because I like to be a smart ass sometimes, Miss Know-It-All when I step too much into my ego. It's a blessing, and it can also, if you do it too much, be a negative aspect. Like, do you see what I'm thinking right now? Eventually I want to be a bit more into having the slides that I'm looking at now, integrate that in my videos. I have other things on my mind, and my energy level isn't up to that. My brain capacity isn't up to that yet. I eventually will, but I imagine, you imagine too, told you so will appear in big white letters in the theme of my back. Like, hey friend, how you doing? Yeah, you were kind of right. And I looked in, and me not saying anything, but this mind bubble pops up, and then your spiritual friend here says, I love you, but so let's get into the video, okay? So I have to maybe apologize again for my rant last week, and I don't want to keep doing those things, but I was going through it, really. And we had a full moon on the 5th, and that fell right in hard placements of mine. And I'm not gonna go in, but Aries was way involved, and Aries, my sun sign ruler, is the planet of war and also sometimes aggression, and I wasn't really stable. So I can tell you, in my divine blueprint I have a Cancer moon. In my human design I'm ruled by the moon. I can tell you what I'm working towards is that I can release that and not be so influenced by that, but I'm not there yet. So the moon, negative, sometimes it brings up things that I'm not yet stable enough for to work through, and I all enthusiastically start digging in those, because the moon is our inner waters, you know, our emotions and blockages we have, and things that aren't yet resolved in your subconscious come in a new moon phase or in a full moon, new moon, but mostly in harsher, dark energy. So I let myself go under the like all this anger and resentment and revenge and all those things. What if I just let it out one day, just for one day? But then the next day, hey, I was that emotional catharsis, Anna. Probably in the moment I wasn't thinking like that. I felt it would be, you know, what is it, constructive, or, you know, good to do that. But a few days later, I had like a big relapse in my alcohol problem. I have 2 vices that I want to quit, that I'm working towards quitting. I was kind of in a manic episode, and then going through the I can do say I'm going to go into the next, okay, after this. Oh, you're sliding downward here. That I'm going to have to revisit all of that again. So I can say I closed that, I let it all out one day, and then 1 or 2 days later I was still all in my emotions, and I drew a card, and that's in the video of today. And it really was applicable, or how do you say it, toepasselijk in that moment. Let it go. But there was also vine stock, and I just know that sarcastically my higher self, my guidance, telling me, you let it go, right? Yeah, I know. I'll do better next time. But yeah, I probably have to revisit all those things all over again. Maybe get some karmic backlash from it. It is what it is. I did have some catharsis, but if it was really, really a healthy, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So what I also want to say here is that building on my previous subject of what was I forgot the name at the moment. Building a strong foundation. Why I'm choosing, because of also the past time I went through. It's not the time yet to go deeper in that, because I'm talking about current things that I see manifesting. What do you want to call it? Occurring, if you don't believe in all that. And I see past lessons, and that's also relating what I'm going into today. Resurfacing both in my outer reality as in energetically experiencing that internally. So I can say that I have a new plan. So I was supposed to go inpatient rehab for 8 weeks, got declined there, I'm not happy with it. I can tell you, I can also tell you some of the fears I had. God does that on purpose at times. I was like, I have experience with being thrown from one therapist to the next, because if they quit their job or whatever happens in life, or they can't help you with that part, so then you have to go over there and then there. My current therapist is getting another job, so ding, 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 ding. I couldn't say I was surprised, and I also know that sometimes this happens because the universe, God, divine forces, whatever you want to call it, if you're stoic in life, you also know you're gonna have to face your fears or imagined fears in life, and that's I'm going to do it from a God perspective. Is that you're sitting there like, that happened again, and then God is going to be in your face. Yeah, but you learned from it, didn't you? Did you die? Sometimes you have like these massive fears that feel like death. Death is around the corner, and then God is just like, you went through the test, you young one. And like, did you die? So that happens, but I can tell you it's not fun. Because if you're going really into old trauma and stuff and stories that are not fun to talk about, and you build a rapport, is that rapport? I don't know. I'm Dutch, so I don't know all the English words straight away. Rapport bouwen. So you build a professional relationship with these people, but it's still your heart and soul is on the table, and all the good, the bad, and the ugly and stuff. It takes time to build trust and be in yourself, able to talk about those things, and then you have to do the same with another person a lot of the time. So I have to say, probably in my healing journey, if I'm doing better, maybe in my purpose will also be eventually like this little personal vendetta against mental health. The mental health on the planet is actually destroying people's mental health, and even like being sent off every time, like you have a severe drinking problem, but we can't help you right now with that. Like, bye, yeah. I have some things to maybe say about that later, but maybe I'll write a book on it first for myself and see what I'm going to do with that. I maybe drag some asses to court. but okay. That's all right. I'm learning from it. That it's a lot of my own doing and my own responsibility. And regarding to traumas and stuff, you are a victim. You're allowed to be a victim for a while, and you didn't deserve what happened to you. But I'm sorry to say, but nobody's really coming to save you. You have to do that yourself. So you're not responsible for what others did to you, but you are responsible for the healing of that. So why I'm here trying to help people with my personal experiences, and I also want to add a bit here that even though I come across maybe as lightly on the subject, I've walked through hell many times. I wanted to off myself for a long time. I fell hardcore into addiction. I went through all of it. It's not easy, especially not what I've been sharing now recently. I'm strong, yes, but also I had psychotic breaks at times, and karmic debt that comes also in pain and misery and stuff, so I hope I want to add that a bit, not to be, oh, boo, look at me, feel sorry for me, not at all, but be a bit mindful of that on my page, that I'm trying to lift myself up with music and humor and trying to do teachings and keep the spirits up on here, but this is yeah, okay. I think if you know me for a while on my channel, cause yeah, had to reset it again and again, and some things maybe you've not seen yet about my story, and a lot of my story will not be shared, exposed, or that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just do it. I'm doing this for myself. Like you're, damn girl, you did that. Somebody else would have offed itself already. So if you think, why is this girl acting out like this and spiraling timelines again and what's going on over? That's not easy. Really not. And it hurts on multiple dimensional levels. But okay. I'm that's the warrior, but I have other aspects in my divine plan too, and my generational healing. What I'm mostly going through at the moment is a point in that, and yeah, I hope sometimes that I can just have it a bit more easy. But yeah, and I also want to say I'm not the only one going through some horrific things like this. And maybe you can always say that there are people having it worse or doing more or whatever. But okay, like I say more on my channel, I always say I'm sharing my experience and showing a way and how I'm trying this, but it's your journey. Keep that in mind. So you're allowed to go through the motions and stuff for a while. Don't stay stuck. Don't keep evolving. And I'm going to come into that a bit later. So I already shared also I'm an extrovert, but that's because there's passion in this, in my mission. Maybe this will come after my healing. So, I didn't say that yet. I'm going to go 1 week into inpatient medical detox for both quitting drinking and smoking. And then I'm I'm working on a personal plan for my own daily structure, habits, overcoming cravings after that and stuff. Still doubting if I would go on medication naltrexone. Not sure about that. Think not at first. I'll see maybe later, but I'm still thinking about that. And yeah, I don't like it. The risk is way high for a relapse. So because I'm not going inpatient 8 weeks, but yeah, I'll have to power through. I do have to say I'm probably going to walk my own personal hell in that time for a while, not only in that 1 week. So prayers would be, how do you say, gewaardeerd. I would like you to keep me in your prayers, or send me, just if you don't pray, good vibes. Meditate a bit on help Anna. Because I can use it. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be soon and start soon. What I also want to say, maybe by then I would be more stable in my energy and not so like this. I can't say. I don't know the sober me. I'm not, my last drink was last night around 8. And I'm up to a bottle built down from past week's drama again. 3 bottles a day, mania. The days are gone. Which day is it? So I'm back to still on 1 bottle a day. And cigarettes also have a certain effect on energy levels and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. Even I have to get to know me all over again. I'll let you know by then. I think I'm going to take really a step back then, but I'm not making any promises because I do like sharing as this. Whew. Okay, a 20-minute intro at 2021. I'm starting. So, planetary energetics that are going on currently, diving into my personal natal chart. I didn't, so we're gonna find out together. I know some things top of my head already, but we're gonna dive into it. And then, I'm sorry that I can't yet show you. I don't know if I'm going to show pictures or because a lot of this is already on my posts if you start looking for it. So it has to do, you have to look up your personal birth chart. And I do that with multiple channels, by the way, but I have mine now at AstroSeek. And you have to, I also have a tab, man. Maybe I should not do this. I'm done. I wanted to give a higher view of my pretty things here, but it's annoying me. Do you have enough grip over there? I think so. Okay, AstroSeek, then you have to look at your natal chart. I typed in a tab with the current retrogrades that are going on. Talked a bit about the full moon we had on the 5th. Yay, that was a fun one for me. I have the wheel of the 12 houses of the zodiac. And I have some frequency music on too. Maybe maybe I should just drop in energy vibe currently. So I did my story and just make it a bit more relaxed for you. Maybe we should also, I had this in mind for the end of it, but I have my Palo Santo, is it? The main ones I have currently was Inner Peace and To Heal. But I'm getting a bit sick of the healing journey. So I wanted it to be a bit more just feeling love. Because healing is a lot, feeling pain and misery and going back to old wounds and stuff. I'm kind of getting done with that. But we'll see. So let's clear the energy a bit from Anna's ranting. You can breathe in deeply through your nose, out of your mouth. And let it clear the air, okay? I'm gonna be a bit more like this now. Because there's a lot going on in my life, so my energy levels are all, whew. But okay, I can be zen again. What I shared also about Razen on my human design profile. Okay, people, thank you if you're still here. So the current retrogrades are, we have a lot going on, people. 5 planets. Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And why this is mostly for me interesting to share with you is Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius. And will move into Scorpio on November 18. Ending its retrograde on November 29th. So we have, you can do the math. Saturn is in Pisces, Jupiter is in Cancer, Uranus is in Taurus, and Neptune is in Pisces. And I don't think I'm going to share because I've been spamming YouTube a bit much. I don't want to lose a lot of followers like what. So if you're interested in, do your own research a bit after. So not giving you all the details, okay? But why I found this a very interesting one, because I have my Mercury, so I have Sagittarius. Okay, here I go again. We had a full moon in around Aries, Taurus cusp, my sun sign. My rising sign is in Sagittarius, comes a bit back to what I was experiencing a while ago in in the healing of the dark feminine archetype, and what came in my learning after that. So Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, is in my first house. Cancer is my moon. And I also always had intuitive guidance. So Jupiter, Sagittarius rules Jupiter. And Jupiter, so in my first house I have both Black Moon Lilith and Jupiter as ruling planets. And Jupiter is also in Leo. And Leo has some connections to my south node. And I always felt, and before I even went studying into this further myself, to someone who was helping me learn this, I always said, like, I always had resentment or something, or aversion against my north node in Capricorn, because Capricorn, devil, karma, you know, I was into looking at the other systems. We'll go a bit into this at the end. I was always like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want my moon in Cancer south node and Saturn north node in the second house. I was like, I can't handle this, you know, or something like that. I went, no, I don't want this destiny. So I said, I want to more look into, and he was also already saying a lot of times, because he had a similar placement in his first house with, I believe, a Scorpio and a Black Moon Lilith, so even more heavy, I guess, than mine. And I was always like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about my Jupiter in Leo, because Leo is more fun sign to have there. But okay. There I went again. I'm too enthusiastic about it sometimes, I guess. It is what it is. So, what I wanted to look at, so like I said, my first house is Sagittarius. Scroll down. My ascendant, and your ascendant symbolizes basic personality traits such as physical appearance, temperament, behavior, relationship to life, and first impressions the person gives. So maybe that's why I'm struggling with how I come. That could be it, people, but I don't know. Sagittarius ruler is Jupiter. One part of your nature heads up for the noble goals, while the other part is controlled by earthy and animal instincts. The life of these people may be accompanied by a constant search for something that is very difficult to achieve. Even before reaching the goal, they see another one that is just as difficult to achieve. People with Sagittarius ascendant are full of passion, and they need to use this energy and enthusiasm. They can be very inspiring when they stop showing off. And the ruler of this ascendant, Jupiter, is in Leo. These individuals move through life with warmth, pride, and strong desire to express their creativity. They may act decisively and with a sense of inner authority, often inspired by noble ideals or heartfelt passions. They dislike pettiness and respond best when they can lead with generosity and dignity. Their challenge is to balance self-expression with humility and heart-centered presence. the ruler of the ascendant, Jupiter, is in the 8th house, and that's also where I have my Cancer moon. So I have my North Node, South Node has to do with the 2nd house, what I'm heading towards regarding, so I have to build what Capricorn North Node stands for, and I deal with a lot of challenges but also gifts. You know, works two ways with money, work, income, daily routines, values, material possessions, priorities, habits, your job and your work ethic. And then my 8th house, what I'm coming from, so what I mastered in my last life, but sometimes you also abused some of these things. Okay, I don't know. I'm now here, okay? But I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did wrong. So, but it's okay. We all have sins and did effed up things. If you don't believe in past lives and stuff, that's fine. But okay, that we make mistakes that we have to learn from and work through and try to be a better person. Some never even try to do that. They just go through life doing nothing with that. Read a bit into the post I shared today with the boomerang. So believe it or not, it's coming. And that could be in the good way or in the bad way. And there's both what I have to learn in this lifetime. There is actually no good or bad. There's polarity and how to integrate that. Acceptance and inner peace, forgiveness, love, those kind of things. So my 8th house is merging. The 8th house stands for merging sex, intimacy, shared finances, inheritances, taxes, loans, assets, property, joint ventures and goals, mystery, and your partner's resources. So, why did I want to dive into this? Because I'm seeing this play out again. And Mercury retrograde is a phase that if you dive into it, you have to always be careful with planetary and energetics and what's going on. It could drive you mad. Sometimes you just have to flow through life and see what comes. But at times it's also wise to be knowledgeable and work with energies, and also don't be scared, be prepared. Or you can be ignorant in life, fine, okay, then you're maybe on the wrong channel. I'm not that. I do know we have to live our life also as souls having a human experience and go with the flow at times, but I'm here. I want to reach my destiny and fulfill my purpose, and maybe I won't make it, but at least I want to say that I did my very best to do that. And maybe at times not so much, but if I can heal from addiction, that would be one of the greatest achievements of my lifetime that I have overcome then. Just saying. Before I can say that, I hope around 37. So future me, if the nodal return hits, I'm going to try to not delete all my videos again and just see the progress I've been making or not, and look back like I still have some things to do. I have to be ready by then. Because the ancestral Mayasm I've been sharing on this page, that karmic inheritance you get from your generations, but also other lifetimes you made certain decisions and stuff. If you don't clear that, you're going to get sick from that. And not around your nodal return. These lessons are going to be appearing again. That's 36, 37, and that's supposed to... I'm gonna make a separate video of that. I find that interesting, but that will come way later. I did one before, was very interesting, but I want to have more action taken before I go into that one again. But there's a next Saturn return. I think you're 54 then. I don't want to die young. I wanted to die at times, and even now at times when I'm going through horrible withdrawal after a relapse again. Like lying there with pain everywhere, and emotional turmoil and shame and stuff. Maybe it should just be the end right now. But yeah. And then 2-3 days I recovered pretty quickly. 3-5 days I'm like, okay, back in the saddle towards healing. But yeah, I don't want to die of an extreme illness by then, and we all have to die from something, right? But yeah, knowing this, your spiritual clock, as much as I can prevent, because now I'm still young and capable, and I want to have my own happy family. I want to clear as much as possible. Now I'm still kind of young, still, you know. I thought once that I'm not ever allowed to have, like, I have moments like that I think I'm never going to find love again, a partner that is with me in this journey or whatever, just accepting that I'm having this journey and understanding of that. And I don't know if children come in the picture with this, what I went through, and I know of my divine mission in that. I don't know. I'll just have to see. I'm losing my patience at times. It makes me miserable, feeling loneliness and despair like that. But yeah, okay. So I hope, I hope by my nodal return I can look back and maybe see, last partner I had for a year, I was actually starting to think about children. Well, that karmic thing blew up in my face. I'm not going to go into that one right now, but yeah. The goal right now is mostly getting better, but I would have liked it if I don't have to do that all feeling all alone. Okay, you're not alone, but sometimes it feels like that, and you miss intimacy and certain things of a relationship, and that maybe that's in my Mercury retrograde also a bit. So, if you want to know how these transits are going to affect you, so the most of these, Mercury is until 29th of November, and it deals with communication, relationships, contracts, delays. I've seen YouTube is glitching. I think that has something to do with it. People might not believe this, but these kind of things happen around Mercury retrograde. You know, electricity going off, those kind of things. Deals with communication, both physical as energetically. Electricity being one of that. It's ending in November. Jupiter in Cancer ends March 2026. Saturn in Pisces, I don't feel that is really, I have Saturn, but I have nothing with Pisces. I'm not focusing really on that retrograde. I know it's going back in Aries somewhere. I'm more going into that maybe by that time, knowing, I've seen this nothing before. Okay, I'm not into the Uranus-Neptune that much. Maybe I should be, but I was looking more into it being with Aries full moon. Okay, so what I can also say, we're in Libra season. there's been a karmic attachment in my life. I'm sad to say it became an attachment, an unhealthy codependency. I'm not going to go into that, but I think in building a strong foundation, I think I want to do that around my birthday next year. Set that goal for myself to see if I'm stable and my energy is balanced. What happened in that dynamic, because it's unhealthy, and actually this person is a lot of the times draining me energetically, triggering me in all kinds of ways. I'm with my back against the wall, being traumatized, triggering again from soul lessons I have, or just my inner child acting up. I think this person is being used as a dark portal, and I'm not sure about it, but I have felt that many times, and it just didn't stabilize yet. So that's why I don't want to talk about it now too much, because I don't want to manifest in this time going into that, but I am making mental and emotional soul level notes on this, what is happening, because this guy pisses me off. Yeah, and it hurts me a lot also, unintentionally, but it's a karmic attachment. If you know what that is, then you know what that effect on you can be, and that sometimes another person in that isn't affected as much as you are. But I had to deal with my career path, and that's why I'm in Mercury retrograde and Libra season, revising lessons and connections with people, and also working on steps in my career path. So a former employer I randomly met again this week. Not randomly, and that's a good one, another former employer of mine. So that really helped me move along in the charity work I'm doing, and being able to go into sick leave and stuff. So that was my meeting with him. I knew that why I met him again. There are not a lot of coincidences in this world, so keep your eyes open, and especially try to keep the third one open, and how you feel, how things are making you feel. 42 minutes. Did I really? Oh yeah, what I wanted to say also. So I found I'm being cherry picking in this, okay? But my advice to you is, in these 5 planets in retrograde currently, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, maybe look into, especially now Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius and then a bit into Scorpio, where is that placement in your chart? And what house is in that placement? But also look at, you have 3 levels of going into this. Like I just said, for example, my Mercury is in Sagittarius right now. My Sagittarius is in the 1st house, and I know 1st house Sagittarius rules Jupiter. I know in my 1st house I also have the planet Black Moon Lilith, and I know that Jupiter is the ruler of Leo, that it also affects Leo. See how dimensional, and what I can, and this is like, people say, oh, the zodiac, everybody is, if you're into astrology, all BS, and if you're matched together, I'm not looking into that. I'm looking at my divine blueprint and learn from that, and also matching that to my experience. I'm not reading any weekly horoscope This isn't easy work to do. So look into more the dimensions, or if you're a beginner, just look at what I said, you know, what house it is in, and what sign, and what are the themes in the houses of astrology that might be affecting you during this time. Could prevent you with making certain mistakes or connecting with certain people, reconnecting with certain people that will cost you later. Or contracts you're signing, things you're setting up. And I know, you know, we all live here. I'm going into rehab probably within. And they say, oh yeah, don't make major life decisions. I have to. So sometimes you have to. And like I said, don't be scared, be prepared. But be also like mindful of that it could cost you later, or that you will have to go back later and revisit things again, fix things again. So yeah, I think there was still a lot of I've been in. I'm not gonna excuse myself in that. I am as I am at the moment. So what I will do for you people is like give you the relaxing. I'm sorry if I was too hyped and now you're stressed. Let me clear the energy for you. Give you a moment. A minute is quite long actually to be silent. So let's end this video to the 47 minutes. I hope you learned something from it that is useful to you. And if you don't like astrology and the things I was talking about, that me being me in how I am at the moment was sort of entertaining to you. Thank you for joining my journey. We're almost there. See.